Coming home, we've got a flat, and she's flat. What do you do?
Well, back out here again for another day. It's pretty windy today. Hopefully it's not going to cause too much of an issue. I did notice the caravan was rocking around a bit in the wind, but hopefully it doesn't blow away. So today we are going to get in there and fingers crossed, we've got someone coming out who's going to weld the floor together, those cracks, get rid of all that stuff, make it all strong again so we can put the floor down, the wheel arches back in and start planning out where everything is going to go. Oh, it is quite windy. Fia is going to get onto the water blaster today and water blast the back of the caravan. That, as you saw in the last episode, it's looking pretty grubby back there. So she'll probably go over the whole caravan once she gets going. Actually, once she gets going, everything's going to get a clean. But that's good, it needs it. So let's get to it. I was talking earlier about the cracks in the chassis. I want to just talk a little bit more about that. So we can see down here, we've got a pretty substantial crack. Gee, it's windy outside. Okay, so we've got this crack here, and you can see it's cracked right across there as well. And it's actually pulling away from this sort of gusset, the strengthening. If we have a look at this outrigger as well, and I put that straight edge or that bit of steel on there, we can see how far it's sunk down. It's quite a space in between that outrigger and where it should be. It should be up in line with that steel there. So as that wall is pushing down, it's actually pulling this crack apart. So what I'm going to do is just jack it up, and it should close all this crack up as we go. Yeah, and so you can see that closing up nicely. So that's where it should be. Righto, so that's a bit better. That's closed that gap up heaps, and it's closed all this up. So what we're going to have to do now is to weld this together somehow. Now, I'm no welding expert. In fact, I'm a terrible welder. But luckily, I know someone who is an amazing welder, and his name's Matt, and he's getting his stuff organised outside. He's got all the gear, all the contraptions to do the welding. And he's also thought of some really clever ways to strengthen it up for us. Now, Matt is a metalworking genius, but he's also a woodworking genius, and he's got his own business making amazing furniture. So I'm going to put a link in the description to check out his Facebook page. He does custom-made furniture, tables and shelves and all sorts of stuff. He uses Tasmanian hardwood and makes his own steel brackets and everything. Works of art more than furniture. Anyway, I'm going to give him a hand. We'll get that stuff organised, and he'll get in here and start welding this back together.
Just remember, safety first, so when you come to welding, just make sure you squint a bit. Get that safety squint colour. This is called the electrode. So this is a tungsten, which is the arc created by the TIG welder. Arc follows the tungsten down, and then is what guides your arc. Your filler material here, so filler wire, is what I'm adding to the weld. So I'm using the arc, melting the filler wire into the parent material. The tungsten is just what guides the arc. I'm just swapping to a different process. I'm going to go use electrodes, or stick welding as most people call it. Instead of TIG welding where you've got a shielding gas, but the wind keeps blowing away, this is called flux coating on the filler material. Is what does the shielding, like the gust. So when your filler material melts into the parent material, the flux will just float and protect the weld from contaminants or air. So it's similar sort of thing, but different process. my trade's in stainless steel fabricating with TIG welder, so don't judge too hard. I don't do as much stick as I do TIG. So as you can see there, the glowing under the flux there is just the filler material, the steel cooling from being molten. So this flux is floating on top. So once it's finished cooling like this, you should be able to chip the flux away and leave the weld underneath. She'll do.
So Matt's finished. He's done an amazing job. It just blows me away, like guys who know what they're doing. I mean, to me, I was looking at it thinking it's an insurmountable problem. You know, we've got cracks in the chassis, and Matt comes in and he goes, "Oh no, we'll just do this, that, and the other thing," and you'd never even know now. It looks like a factory job. So that's awesome. Thanks, Matt. And again, check out his Facebook page if you want some custom-made furniture. What we're going to do now, I'm going to measure up the width of the van. I've got some plywood and I want to cut that to width so it fits in here for our floor. We can start putting our floor all back together. So what I'm going to do, where the sheets join, because they're not tongue and groove, I've got a biscuit machine, so I'm just going to put some biscuits on the join to keep the join nice and strong, and you step on it. So what this machine does, it cuts a groove. When I push it out, it's got a little blade that comes out there, and it cuts a groove into the side of the timber, and little biscuits go in there, and you use it to join two pieces of timber together, like dowels used to be used for. Well, still used for, but these are easier to use because you don't have to get your alignment as critical. So. These are the biscuits. They don't taste very good, but they do fit in here nicely. Once they're in there, you put glue in there and they sort of swell up with the glue and they jam in there. And of course the other side is in there as well, and it holds it all together. And that's how it works. So I was measuring up, and there's 10mm difference in the wheel arch depth from one side of the van to the other. So it confirms my suspicion they weren't super accurate when they built these things. They just kind of slapped it together. But anyway, we'll work with it. You might be wondering what this actually is. It's just plywood. It's designed for formwork when you're concreting, so it has like a film face on it, which is, it's not waterproof, but it's water resistant. You can use this, you use these as forms over and over with wet concrete, and so they're pretty durable. This is going to be exposed obviously to road dirt and moisture and stuff from the road as you're driving along. So this will be somewhat protected, but we're going to put like a bitumen paint over it as well to make it totally impervious to water. So I think that'll be a good product, and it should last the life of the van.